some of the best decks for winning a ton of cubes in Marvel Snap. Make it look like you have a very weak board presence, a very weak hand, and then at the end, that last turn, just loading them with a bunch of points on the board. And that is exactly what this Cerebro deck does. We have some options if you don't have all these cards, and we got some gameplay to see how to pilot this deck. And if you're ready for all of that Valley Club, then you do. Find that like button and let's go snap it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I'm ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a lot of fun in Marvel Snap. And I hope you're enjoying this update that just dropped a few days ago. And I also hope that you're ready for the next update, saving your collector tokens and preparing for when all those Series 5 cards drop to Series 4 and all those Series 4 cards drop down to Series 3, and you can start to get them and collect your reserves a lot easier. Now, if this is your first time on the channel, we talk about Marvel Snap here, and if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Snap content. We got deck guides like this, we got news, gameplay, and a lot more to help your Marvel Snap experience, and we're trying to grow this channel so that we can reach more people. But in this video, we are talking about my favorite Cerebro deck right now. Now, this was a deck that I haven't really used too much. I had a hard time making it work, and gotta be honest, the first few times I used this Cerebro 2 deck, it didn't go very well. But let's go check out this deck and see what makes it work. These are the cards in the deck. We have a lot of cards that end with 2 power. And all of that is made a little better by Cerebro. Has the ongoing effect, the highest powered cards get +2 power. Now, we're basing these on all 2 powered cards. So if you look in our hand, we have Iceman, an excellent 1-cost card with 2 power. We have Yondu, another excellent 1-cost card with 2 power. And I like both of these cards. It really disrupts your opponents because it destroys one of the cards in their hand, or it gives one of the cards in their, destroys one of the cards in their deck, or it gives one of their cards in their hand +1 cost. So very debilitating. Now, there's other 1-cost cards that you could use in this deck. Some of them I like Nightcrawler because you can move that 2 power around. Korg because it also disrupts your opponent's hands by placing a rock in there. But my favorite version of this deck has Luke Cage in it. Now, if you don't have Luke Cage, because he is a pool 4 card as of right now in January 31st, or at least planned for January 31st, he is moving down to pool 3. So this should be a very budget-friendly deck with, as soon as January 31st drops down, no pool 4 cards. But Luke Cage is important. You're gonna need him for some of the effects that Hazmat does, and Hazmat pairs very well with Wong, and Wong pairs very well with Zabu. So if you don't have Luke Cage, I'll remove this card, I'll remove Hazmat, and I'll also remove Zabu because he pairs very well with Wong, and Wong pairs very well with Hazmat. So all 4 of these cards would be removed from this deck if you don't have Luke Cage. Cards that I would replace them with are cards like Goose, who is another 2-powered card, and this could make it very tough for your opponent. You don't have a lot of 4, 5, or 6 cards that you're playing in this deck, so this would make it good for you, not good for your opponent. You just gotta be careful. Invisible Woman is another great option because you could hide some of these cards. You could, if you need to play that Cerebro early, you can. And she still is a 2+2 powered card, so you could kind of hide a lot of things that you're doing in this deck. Mr. Fantastic is another great replacement if you don't have Luke Cage or Wong or some of these other cards. He's gonna give adjacent locations +2 power. The good thing about this, he's not giving the cards power, so that you're not ruining what the Cerebro does, because you want to make sure that all of your costs have the same power. If you have one card that is 3 power and the rest of them are 2, well, that 3-powered card is the one that's going to get buffed by Cerebro, and all your 2-powered cards are going to get forgotten. And last but not least, I want to mention Mr. Sinister as a replacement if you don't have one of those cards there. So you got a lot of replacements there, but that's Luke Cage. What I like about him is because there's some locations that give you negative power at that particular location, and that could screw up what Cerebro is trying to do. Luke Cage mitigates that. If you get a Scorpion destroying your hand, Luke Cage could also mitigate that, and works very well, like I said, with Hazmat, because Hazmat is going to afflict all other cards with -1 power. Luke Cage is going to negate that for your side. And if they don't have a Luke Cage, that could win you some games, and it goes very well with Wong, because Wong ongoing ability is gonna double all the on reveal abilities at that location, unless there's something like Cosmo there or something like that. So very good card. And the reason Zabu is here is, yes, he is a 2-powered card. He's a 3-powered card, 3-cost card, but he'll make Wong a little cheaper, which could give you some awesome plays of maybe a Wong followed by Mystique, followed by Hazmat on certain turns. So it could be very, very good. Scorpion is there to disrupt your opponent's hand. It's going to give them -1 power and could be very, very rough. Now, what I'd like to do, on turn 5 is play this card, Blue Marvel. It's going to give all the other cards 1+ power. So all your 2-cost cards are going to go to 3, which means this the 3-power Blue Marvel is going to be matching, and it's not going to affect what Cerebro is trying to do here. And then in turn 6, we go with Cerebro, giving the highest powered cards +2 power, and then Mystique is gonna do it again. So all those cards are gonna have a lot of power there. Brood works like a better version of Mr. Sinister, a little more expensive, but instead of adding 1 extra Mr. Sinister, he's gonna add 2 extra Broodlings. Now you do need to be careful. Sometimes you get cards that buff this up, and that's not good for you. Some locations will buff this up, so be careful. Make sure that this is still 2, because the Broodlings are going to be the same power. It's not going to be like if Brood is buffed up and these Broodlings are going to still remain 2 power. No, they're going to be the exact same power as the Broodlings. Storm is great for location control. If you get a bad location or location that's going to boost up some of your cards or just be potentially very beneficial to your opponents, you could lock down that location. And that is the deck. You know, a lot of great options with Cerebro. There's some Cerebro 3 decks out there, Cerebro 4 decks out there, but I think in the current season with Luke Cage, Hazmat, Wong, and that stuff, Cerebro 2s are my favorite right now. So let's go take a look at them in action. Like I said, it took me a little while to figure out this deck. My first few times running this deck, I lost and didn't know when to snap, but I'm still figuring out when to snap. But let's go check out the gameplay. All right, the cards with highest power get +3. Monster Metropolis is that far left location. Nothing to play on turn 1. And because I don't see Hazmat in our deck yet, or in our hand yet, I guess we'll go with Scorpion on that left location. Nothing in the middle. We have a play for Zabu or Storm. Cards with -1 power. Guess what we could do? We could go Zabu. Actually, no, let's not have our location switch. Let's go with Storm. Storm that location. And we could follow it up with Zabu and Yondu on the next turn. That'll give us a little reduced cost if we do manage to draw Wong. And it'll get rid of one of their cards. Hopefully one of the cards that they have. Oh, I think we're gonna snap here. We have a Wong and Cerebro both showing up in our hand. That will be great. If we get a Blue Marvel, that'll be good as well. We need to play something else on the Monster Metropolis though. Or hopefully they play something else on Monster Metropolis. Lots of Jubilee. They get a Sarah pull from their Jubilee. They're gonna get some extra power there as well. Maybe we snapped a little prematurely. What we can do, we could go Brood here, Luke Cage here, and hopefully this Monster Metropolis doesn't screw up too much of what we want to do as far as power. All right, and then final turn, we have a Mystique or a Cerebro followed by Mystique play. And I think we actually get the middle, unless they have something like a Dr. Doom that they can reach that far. Oh, they have an Iron Man, a -1 Iron Man. Oh. And it's gonna be a -4 Iron Man there now. We're gonna need to put some power into that location. All right, Wong doesn't help us too much, but Cerebro and Mystique will. Let's end this, see what they follow up with. Are they going to be able to get enough power at that location? What will they have? We get a lot from our Mystique, a lot from our Cerebro. And they go Surfer, which gives their Mystique a little bit power. And they go Absorbing Man. All right, so not enough for the right side, not enough for the middle. But they do get a huge play on that left side, but it's not enough. All right, we have Yondu as a good turn 1 play. We don't want to do Shuri's Lab too much. all of our non-1 cost cards we could play, or 2 power cards we could play there. Let's start off with Yondu, and then we'll go with Scorpion. I think the only one that we're really going to be able to use is Blue Marvel, Luke Cage. I think the rest of our cards are 2 power. All right, we have that Iceman. We could also storm that location too if we get a storm in our hand. I think what we want to do is go Scorpion here, just freeing up a little more space because we will have to play cards there on turn 5. All right, they're gonna have their power reduced in their hands. Oh, they got a Scorpion on us. Let's give them a point. The Spider-Man meme. All right, so it is Altar of Death. All right, what can we do here? I guess we could put an Iceman there because the power did get reduced. That's not great. Or we could just go with Zabu. Zabu will get double power, which is 2, which is exactly what we want. Iceman would also do that. Let's go and see a Luke Cage followed up, so we're not gonna get the double power. The Zabu doesn't do much for us right now. But what we can do, we got this Brood that we can play on this turn, and we could go Altar of Death with our Iceman. So things are shaping up okay. Still don't have all the ideal cards in our hand. We do have the Cerebro. We don't have the Mystique there. If we have a Blue Marvel, that would be great. And then on turn 6, draw a... I guess we're going to have to play that Luke Cage right now. And... do we want to try to save a Hazmat for a Wong, or do we want to wait? I think we'll wait. We'll see what we get on that last turn. If we get a Wong, if we get a Cerebro, if we get a Mystique, I think that's what we're going to do. It looks unlikely that we're going to win that middle location with that Iron Man there. We have the Blue Marvel. We have a Cerebro. And I think that's what we do. We go Cerebro, and we followed up with Hazmat. That should win us the Altar of Death, and that should win us that left location, unless they are playing something with a Silver Surfer that could get more power to that location. Crossing my fingers that they don't have Silver Surfer. If not, we should get a victory here. They got a strong play in the middle. Oh, they're going with Cerebro also. Was not expecting that. 2 more. They got an Iceman that doesn't get the Cerebro power. So now comes our Cerebro power, and is it going to be enough, reducing the cards in their hand? It is enough, just barely squeaked by. I wasn't expecting a Cerebro, I was expecting a Silver Surfer, but luckily the Hazmat Luke Cage play helped us out. All right, we have Yondu and Iceman to choose from on turn 1. After each turn, cards get +1 power. That's not great for a Cerebro deck. Let's go with Iceman. See if we could cripple them before the game even starts. Getting +3 power won't do anything for our Cerebro. 7-turn game, which makes it good for us to potentially draw more of the cards that we want. Could just forego Cerebro and then lean into that Luke Cage Wong. We don't have any of our cards really showing up that we want though yet. There's a few cards that we need. We don't have Cerebro yet. We don't have Wong, Hazmat, Luke Cage. There's the Angela. She's going to get a little more power. But what we do, we'll shut down that Angela and go with, all right, there's our Cerebro. Let's shut down that Angela and storm that location there. All right, so they won't get an extra power there, but they won't be able to play any more cards with that Angela. I think just with this 6 power, we may be able to win it, but they do have a Bishop there, which means that they're going to be able to get more power out there. Let's go with Luke Cage and Scorpion. That'll give us 2 more 2 power cards in our hand. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, a Cerebro won't do much. So we're going to have to really hope that we get a Wong Hazmat combo. They get the Mr. Negative there, so we definitely got that location. It's about which location are they going to play. Although, what could they do? There's a Zabu. We want the Cerebro. We could go with Zabu right now. Actually, I would like to get rid of that Iceman. So if they have a Killmonger or something, that would be great. All right, we have Zabu right now. They have the blue marble. All right, so they are currently winning that location. We don't have the blue marble, but luckily, there is our win condition right now. We have the Wong and Hazmat. What do we do with this? We're going to give Iceman more power if we run the Cerebro. That won't benefit us too much. I want to save the Wong and Hazmat for the last play there. So we'll run the Brood here. And we'll see how this ends up. Okay, they get started. They're going to be able to draw a lot of cards on this last turn. They have a Seret negative all in their hand right now. All right. So, ooh, all right. I wish I played the Broodlings there because we could have played a lot of cards. We could have played all 7 cards. Actually, we could do... would like to move some cards around there. So we go with Wong Hazmat. We can't get 3 of them. We can get 2 negatives, though. And I guess we can go Cerebro. This won't do much. This will do a little bit for our Iceman, but that's about it. Let's see if this is enough. What are they playing in the middle? Oh, luckily, unfortunately, I mean, luckily for them, unfortunate for us, we don't have that extra power. We got the left because of that Hazmat. They
Iron Man
look like they're playing for that right location. They go Mojo. They're gonna get the right probably. Yeah, a lot of power on the right, and we get the middle. Oh, just barely eked out that left location there.
Victory.
All right, we could have played a little differently, but we ended up getting the win. All right, Brood, Luke Cage, and Iceman all showing up on turn 1. Let's go right to Iceman at Atlantis. That's a perfect location to try to storm. We're not going to leave only 1 card there because we want our cards there. We want our 2 powered cards there. Right? We're not going to play anything in Superflow. To actually skip a turn if we don't get any 2-cost cards. Yeah, no 2-cost cards. Actually, we do have a 2-cost card. What am I talking about? We have Luke Cage in our hand. Let's go far left with Luke Cage. And we get Storm Atlantis to make sure that Iceman doesn't have that extra power there. And any of their cards don't have that extra power there. This hood should be destroyed. Not yet. They're going Deadpool, so I'm expecting a Killmonger or something to help them out there. Like a Deathlock or Carnage. Gonna storm that location. Make sure that they can't have any extra power there. I expect a Carnage coming down or a Deathlock coming down. Trying to get all that extra power there. Luckily we do have that Hazmat in our hand. Combined with that Luke Cage. We don't have that Wong or some of the other cards there. All right, so they destroy all of it. They destroy everything with their Killmonger. They have a Sunspot as well, so they have a good, they have some good location control on that location. We're gonna go with our Hazmat there. I mean, excuse me, we're gonna go with our Brood, and we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait right now. Luke Cage looks like he might win that location. We don't have any other reach that we could extend to other cards. All right, so, but we will get the blue marble. They destroy their Deadpool once again. They got that demon in that flooded location. We have our Brood at that flooded location. So currently losing. But if we get a Wong, we get a Cerebro, we could turn the tide of this battle. All right, there's the Wong. There's the Hazmat. Let's increase this, and then we get followed with Wong, Hazmat at the end. Not sure if they're going to be able to get any cards out of Altar of Death, unless they have something like a Dr. Doom or a Mr. Fantastic or a White Tiger or something that could give cards to Altar of Death. No move cards out on the fields yet. There's their Deadpool. There's our Carnage. Destroying it one more time. Looks like they're going to have a strong play at Superflow. There's the Venom. Getting all the points from their Carnage. We're going to get a few extra points from our Blue Marvel. They get a few extra points on their Sunspot. Now, what do we do? Do we go with the Cerebro? All of our cards are 3 cost. We could go with no, we don't have Mystique, so I guess we're gonna have to go Wong, Hazmat, and hopefully this works. Hopefully they don't have anything counter, get anything to that Altar of Death. I think we get the flooded location and the Altar of Death. I think they get Super Flow. Let's see how this plays out. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I'm crossing my fingers though. This could go horribly wrong. It's a Deadpool. They're just playing the middle for that middle location. And here comes our hazmat. There it goes. There's the win. Clean win. Love it. So let me know what you think of this Cerebro 2 deck. I think it is the most fun Cerebro deck that I've played and one that I've actually figured out how to use. And I think that addition of Luke Cage makes this deck a lot more reliable. Like I said, if you don't have Luke Cage, there are other options, but the good thing, if you don't have him, he is moving down to Pool 3 at the end of the month. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it helps you. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. It helps us to get this content out to more people. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out. Have a great one, guys.